Hello, this is Jeffrey Hill here at Via Satellite Magazine's CyberSat Summit 2017, and we are going to conduct another video interview, this time with SLOANE Trugman. First of all, my first question to you is, and SLOANE you've been very engaged with the panels here, asking a lot of questions. Talk to me about Updated Project and what brings you here to a cybersecurity and aerospace event.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for asking. It's about actionability now that we're in the 21st century. There's so many standards that are no longer up to standard, from the highest order of technological infrastructure on a security, global alliance, national paradigm, but also now down to the individual user, and then so much data in between. So what brings me here today has been really a journey over the past 3 to 7 years, but really the past 2.5 to see what's the current status of industry and what's the conversation going on today.
How do you feel about the approach that, you've listened to some of the panels here, it's a mix of industry, some on the aerospace side, some from outside the aerospace. What's a constant theme you're noticing among how industry or enterprise is approaching the cybersecurity infrastructure, and how they view the responsibility not only of themselves but consumers?
So basically the overall takeaways that I've seen so far is that we're missing a critical element in the middle, which is a policy person. There's a lot of in-between of regulation and decentralization happening between the enterprise and also the legacy systems that are present here today. So a little voice of policy would have been really interesting, or people that are kind of like in that new wedge of coming in between, of seeing what this unregulated space or this unknown is. I think that the overall general security conversation and safety between the enterprise and the legacy folks here, the heightened security folks that are here today, is really talking about customer relationships. So it's still a really big ROI, return on investment paradigm, rather than looking at critical human elements. Who are we protecting? So that would have been something that I would love to see as more of a human side and centered approach to talking about cybersecurity.
But I am noticing the policy world in the audience here actually like taking notes, and we heard about updates to the framework and what things need to be included, and there's no one size fits all solution for everything. So how do these policies and approaches become more flexible when we're talking about different? And would you agree with that? Have you engaged with like some policy folks here at CyberSat Summit?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of folks here taking notes, myself included. More on from being on a policy side is how do we start actually taking what we're learning and putting it into actionability steps. And some of the conversations that we're looking at is like, who are the constituencies that we're actually protecting? And
that's really the only way we'd have a productive discussion, is by putting everybody together in the same room and having these diverse discussions and viewpoints being shared, I've been very impressed with, even though we're still all trying to figure out what cybersecurity is or what cyber and security are. You guys are doing a really great job of having and hosting these conversations cross-laterally, and really now putting some action steps, I think, behind getting everyone together. Great. Well, hopefully we'll see you next year, maybe even on stage.
Yeah, I'd love that. Please let me on board. I'll come out of the saloon doors fighting.
Well, thank you so much, SLOANE. I appreciate you joining us, and thank you for joining us here at CyberSat Summit 2017. We'll see you next year.